In today's video, we're continuing our coverage on Avengers Doomsday. So, this movie is just about to finish principal photography. It's been shooting for close to 6 months, which the Russo brothers told us that. That was public knowledge. A lot of people are kind of freaking out because they're like, how are they starting to wrap already? This is a huge movie. They've literally been shooting since April. It's now nearly October. A normal movie can shoot in 2 months. This is actually a really long production already. So, standard procedure for Marvel and DC movies is when principal photography is just about to wrap up, we get lots of leaks, rumors, and news coming out, which either coincide with everything else that's been said during principal photography or goes against it. Now, why is this? Well, the main reason is because when they officially wrap principal photography, people can't make up leaks, which are really fan theories and really just ideas put out there under like a so-called insider leaker, if you like. Now, I don't really mind. I mean, I cover everything. But it is interesting how we have had this narrative of what Doomsday is, and all of a sudden now, that's not really the case. I find it interesting because I cover all stuff, whether it's a leak, whether it's a rumor, whether it's news, whether it's a fan theory. So we're going to go over a lot in this video, but just remember this. They are just about to wrap principal photography and there is no script. Yet the source of these so-called leakers and insiders are the same people that said there's no script. Make it make sense. They've been doing what for 5 to 6 months? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So let's break it down. But if you could, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, check us out on TikTok, Warstu. Also check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. Right, let's get into this. So the first part of information comes from the very reliable, unreliable Daniela RPK, who said, in Avengers Doomsday, the X-Men universe is on a path to destroy other universes, including the MCU 616. Now, this makes a lot of sense. Why? Because if the X-Men's universe is the universe where Monica Rambeau went to at the end of the Marvels, and if that's a universe where Doom's going to go to with the new Avengers, with the Fantastic Four, it's going to look like they are there to fight. So I wouldn't really say this is new information because I've already been over this. We went over a plot leak the other week where we literally said that the X-Men universe and the X-Men members are going to get really defensive about just giving Monica Rambeau back over because this whole what causes incursion. So her being there is technically causing the incursion, but it seems like that incursion is going to happen. Now, we know Dr. Doom is going to be manipulating every single person in this movie, but we just don't know who's actually on his side that isn't being manipulated. It's fascinating because I keep bringing this point up. We've seen the set piece that's outside, you know, with the Sentinels, with what looks like the X-Mansion. Yet we are yet to see a single person on the set. These people that take pictures do better because you're not convincing anyone, in my opinion. So, the fan theorist, as I like to call Alex-Perez, the bot account, has put up another Q&A, Ask Me Anything, which I always have found weird because the dude doesn't work for Marvel. It's an Ask Me Anything, almost like you know what you're talking about. So, he gets asked a lot of questions, so let's go over them. So the first question is, when are the rest of the cast going to be revealed? The response, I really wouldn't know. The safest bet is honestly the day of the movie comes out, because even if they do a second chair reveal, there'll still be some characters Marvel are keeping secret until the premiere. Some of these characters are new, some of them are legacy characters, some of them are old characters. So basically, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Realistically, like I've always said, why would they just keep revealing characters? The only reason they actually revealed them characters is to tell you that they're going to start shooting soon. And I don't really understand why they did that, because there's not been one single official leak of an image of any of these revealed characters actually working on the movie. You've not seen anything. Then he was asked a generic question about, oh, Tobey Maguire's in London. Yeah. Tobey Maguire was actually at a movie premiere last night in London, but that means he's filming for Avengers Doomsday, right? No, because Pinewood Studios, predominantly where they're filming, is in Slough, which is outside of London. Sure, you can get there in like an hour or so, but it's not in London. So he basically says the same thing-ish I have no comment officially. Unofficially, it's speculation. Provide some insight from his world, as his universe is one of the many worlds involved in the final incursion due to Strange's spell. Interesting. So let's get to actually the interesting part that has kind of taken the internet over. I don't understand how these so-called theorist scoopers have so much say in the pop culture space on Twitter. And I see all their stories over TikTok and Instagram because they're not really saying anything that we don't know. So the question is, any surprise characters announcement, so on and so forth? Definitely. And the goal is not to reveal them until the release of Doomsday. Even if I did mention who they are planning to involve, we'd be stuck in limbo of will they, won't they for the next year or so. But most of the characters that haven't been officially announced have either been rumored by me, other scoopers, or YouTubers. Finally, well, YouTubers are kind of getting some clout. So this one here has set the internet on fire, and I don't really understand why, right? Will Loki have a prominent role in Doomsday and Secret Wars? Alex-Perez, yes. All those centuries of physics, quantum mechanics, learning everything Obi knows has to pay off for something. So everyone assumed that when Doctor Doom got to where Loki is, that he was going to kill Loki because he needs to absorb Loki's powers in order to control the sacred timeline. So now everyone's saying, yep, 100%, this means Loki is not dying. It means Thor's dying. Doesn't really mean either and or, because are they just going to do like a reversal? So this time it's actually Loki seeing Thor die instead of Thor seeing Loki die. Now, you can look on the channel. I've always said that Loki won't die because that makes literally no narrative sense. But then you're like, yo, Warstu, does any Marvel movie make narrative sense? And the answer is no. So this one's interesting, right? And I almost feel like Alex-Perez is just guessing. What is Doom's power set for Doomsday and Secret Wars looking like? His genius intellect that he's gathered from studying the multiverse, his master manipulation skills, and magic. So Doom wasn't present during Fantastic Four because he was away exploring the multiverse. Because during the World Council scene, during the Fantastic Four, the Latvian seat was empty. So yes, Doom will be studying the multiverse for sure. We already know this. As for the magic, we expected that. That light show was an official kind of reveal. So I'm not going to go over the whole thing. I'm only going to go over the thing that I find interesting and relevant. Okay, so let's go on. So, you know the whole rumor about Steve Rogers caused the whole multiverse to crash, which, if you deduce and actually use logical thinking, I know a lot of you don't do that, but it actually makes no sense that one person caused the whole of the multiverse to crash. So Alex is basically just, logical thinking. Multiple people caused incursions. Steve just happens to be one of them. Thank you. Even if this scooper, this theorist guy, I don't really know what to call these people anymore, even if he's just guessing, that makes the most logical sense ever. My time making out, yeah, it was that one decision for Steve Rogers to live with Peggy that crashed the whole multiverse. Never made any sense. And I've said this multiple times. I feel like most of these scoopers and insiders and leakers either don't understand what they're being told or don't watch the movies. Okay, so he's asked a question about Wanda. And he's really dodging the question, but he does give an answer. So the question is, what role will Wanda play in Doomsday? In the past, you've hinted at a couple of possibilities, including Wanda and Doom as allies, Magneto family reunion. I'm curious how it all fits together. Now, we know the Scarlet Witch is too popular of a character. She's too beloved. She was supposed to be the person who could destroy the whole cosmos. And we know the actress always avoids the question without really saying anything. In an official capacity, this is his response. I heard we'd be getting Wanda variant from the X-Men universe. A Wanda variant. This tells me that you got no idea what the freaking hell you're yapping about. A Wanda variant, which is a universe where Magneto is finally ruling Genosha, as he had always pictured it, and we'd have a royal family type of scenario with Eric, Pedro, Wanda, Polaris. This is an idea that has been pushed since Multiverse of Madness. And then Deadpool and Wolverine, but it never feels like the right fit because it feels like it takes away from the overall plot. However, the main plot they would like to explore with Wanda is the father-daughter relationship with Eric. Now, this just sounds like a fan theory to me, respectfully. Now, people don't like the style because I always question scoopers and say they're fake. I'm just questioning it because that's what you should do. I mean, if people get into university, you should know you should always question what you're told, right? Unless there's actual evidence. So a Wanda variant, he's dancing the question. We're not the real Scarlet Witch. If that's true, it's such a freaking cool idea. But we could have had that in Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, I get it. I feel like this MacGuffin being the multiverse is like, yo, we can just do a bunch of we've had a what if animated show, right? Do that kind of scenario Wanda if you really want to do it in that. So it's kind of frustrating as a fan that wants to see an actual impactful storyline. The problem with the multiverse is people can die and they can come back and they can die. And then you get, like, for instance, Robert Downey Jr. is now Doom instead of Iron Man. It's like, come on, we need a real impactful storyline. That's why people think Marvel's a joke. The stakes are never real. Come on now, lads. So also, he was asked a question about Tom Holland's Spider-Man. So essentially, it's like, yo, what is Spider-Man doing in this movie? Similar to the one in Avengers Infinity War. Now, what is interesting for me is we don't even know if these characters are officially even in the movie. Yeah, he's talking about Tom Holland's Spider-Man appearing. He's talking about Scarlet Witch, Elizabeth Olsen appearing. And we don't even know if they're in the movie. It's all right, people like me theorizing and these scoopers saying they've got information, but you don't really have any information. I mean, it would be easy for Tom Holland's Spider-Man to appear because they are shooting at Pinewood Studios, Brand New Day, and Avengers 5. So yes, I definitely think Wanda and Spider-Man will be in this movie, but it's just really interesting to me how scoopers will say stuff without really saying stuff. It's why I try not to criticize them, but it's like, just say stuff. Don't say, yo, unofficially, this is what I was told. I don't know if it's true. So it just seems like all these so-called insiders and leakers, they're just fan theory people, because even when they get scoops wrong, they don't deny it. Now, like I say, it doesn't matter to me. It's just all the same thing. Rumors, leaks, fan theories, it's all the same kind of thing. But it does seem like Doctor Doom is going to have some vendetta against the multiverse, against people, because realistically, this whole theory that He Who Remains separated the X-Men universe, separated the Fantastic Four universe, and some of the X-Men that were supposed to have powers didn't have powers, it's looking more and more likely that potentially that whole storyline could actually be true. And there's also another idea, scoop, whichever way you want to say it, that says that Doctor Doom will have a vendetta against the multiverse. But the multiverse isn't a person. The multiverse, they're different universes. So it's interesting to me. A vendetta against a multiverse. Multiverse aren't people, right? And also, it is going around that allegedly Kang the Conqueror, Jonathan Majors, will reappear again because the light show, it did look like Kang. It actually looked like Centaurian Kang, to be honest. But I've always said that Kang has to come back. But at the same time, I can't see Jonathan Majors returning just to be killed off. But Jonathan Majors is all about the plot and all about the storyline. So I guess he could see the nuance in that scene having to happen. So hopefully he does return. I still think we should get the Beyond the Kang, because at the end of Ant-Man 3, he was sucked into a different reality and comes back at the Beyond Kang in Secret Wars. That would make a lot of sense, because the whole Paul Rudd Ant-Man 3 ending scene, he said that the whole world was in trouble if he wasn't there to save it. Did I just kill everyone? That whole scene's going to have to come back in some sense. Now, I know the ending scenes and the post-credit scenes in Marvel don't really amount to much, but hopefully, I mean, if you go to the message from the set, Paul Rudd had a similar costume on, similar outfit on. I did do a video about it. So let me know, guys. I've gone over all the latest and greatest rumors, leaks, theories about this movie. This could have been like 5 independent videos, but you know me, I'm not like that. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Check us out on Twitter, Warstu, and we'll catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch you later.